Well, it's a warm welcome to us as we look ahead to a new week. I look down to just confirm that we are on the older track. It is the old track at the Vaal, which of course always has its fair share of comments during and after. It'll be a 12:30 starter to the first of 8. It'll be the first of two visits to the Vaal, the second being on a Thursday. Of course, tomorrow, we are recording on a Monday. It is Heritage Day, so we expect one or two people to be out at the race course. In fact, a few more, and perhaps extending their weekends to the local resorts that are there in access to the track itself. A very good morning to you, and a very good morning to our man here, Mr. Marie. Mr. Marie, a very good morning to you. 12:30 is your off time to that first. First of all, how was the weekend?
Yeah, it went okay.
Yeah, racing?
Went okay. Obviously, I thought the value was with Sukhumvit.
Yeah.
They did back in the mark.
I see that everybody was onto Sukhumvit, but the racing itself, see anything that caught the eye? Unfortunately, Mike did warn us in his blog that the Irish bred was likely to be hot, hence he didn't take it to the Vaal.
Yes, the companion in that race ran on nicely.
Yeah, ran on a nice third, and I think one for the notebook as well. But let's look ahead to tomorrow. We've got a few first-timers. Let's just start off with that bipod. Cat O'Clock, decent run behind what was a very good winner on that occasion. That is Pearl in the Crown, owned by the Spongs, trained by Paul Matchett. Cat O'Clock surely should be the one to bank in this race, or do you play to beat it?
I think she's definitely a bipod banker. I'm more than happy than bankering her in the bipods. I'm not going to be backing her.
Yeah.
Listen, she's the right filly in the race of the race runners. I think her last two efforts have been her best to date.
Yeah.
What's in her favour now, because of the course configuration, the last time we saw the outside rail being moved in, they all tended to go towards the inside running rail. If that's the same case tomorrow, then she's drawn on the right side. But what's in her favour, she's got the pace, she's got the fitness, and more importantly, it is the rider. Penicillia's last 7 rides, 6 wins and a second.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're playing trifectas and quartets, I'd have a look at Black Hole Sun. I mean, on a line through Palace Dancer, she's held by the favourite.
Yes.
And number 5, on a jet plane, half sister to the Grade 1 winning filly Ronnie's Candy Can Improve. So yeah, 1 from 2 and 5.
And I see an interesting first time as well in the same silks as on a jet plane, Paris party of sibling to Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no comments for the first timers in the front of the book.
All right, so that is the bipod suggested. Cat O'Clock is certainly a banker in that bipod. Then our next banker should come with Winds of Change, and that is in race number 3. Outlay, just 36 rand. Well, the Betway League continues. That is the PSA Betway Premiership, and that is continuing in South Africa. Let me give it the proper name. Betway PSL. This was the second weekend, second round, and of course in the UK we were all enthralled by that big one at the City Stadium, Arsenal versus Man City. Right, let's talk about Betway Maiden Plate now. That is over the 1400 meters. That is the first leg of the PA, and we have co-favorites. One of them an exposed horse, and one of them not so exposed, not exposed at all. In fact, it is Karoo Gold. That is number 1 and number 11 Pennsylvania in the colors of the Hyperpain Syndicate nominee, Mr. Johnny Peter. They're both at 33 to 10. And then after that, you're looking at the 8 Kalish Cyborg at 9 to 2, 7 to 1, and better, bar those quoted runners. I do believe that 8 Kalish Cyborg has got to be integral to all your bets somehow in race number 2, or perhaps you see it different.
He's formed part of my play.
Yes.
Fair enough debut. I mean, he ran second to Corrupt. Then next time
I hold it in high regard.
Yeah. Now, in that race was, 12 o'clock?
Yes, 12 o'clock high.
Yes.
Yes.
That came out and won indirectly.
Yes.
Then last time out, he tried a little bit further, stepped up in trip.
Yeah.
But that was around the bend, and I thought he was very green on that occasion. So back up the straight. He could have the draw on his side. He has to form part of your play.
Yes.
Unfortunately, no comments with regards to all four first-timers in this race. So I haven't included any of them. Chariot of Fire, fair enough debut. Not convinced with that form line, but he was doing his best work late on that occasion.
Yeah.
Then last time out, I think that was a run too bad to be true. Back at the Vaal, the tongue tie goes on, I can see him making improvements. And then just take note if Samanga Kamalo is going to be riding. He's set to ride number 1 Karoo Gold. Now, I think we can start following the stable with a bit of confidence. They are going to hit some form. And I like the fact that he's been gelded and the blinkers come off. It is going to be over a distance sharp of his best, but he's going to race fresh. So he could get away with it. Now in his penultimate start, you can see he ran beyond Give Me a Choice. He certainly held form out the maidens. In that race, I think was American Rebel who ran 4th. He's subsequently come out and won and also ran a place at handicap level. So I'm really keen to see how he goes. So I've played the safe route of Yasses.
Right, let's have a look at that PA 1, 6, and 8. That is the Karoo Gold. We hold thumbs that Smanga is recovered well enough to continue riding on a Tuesday. The 6 would be Chariot of Fire, and the 8 Kalish Cyborg. The outlay to that pick 6 to that PA rather is 144 rand. The banker is what we're going to be discussing next as we get into that first leg of the pick 6. I need to ask you, Mr. Marie. Who's going to win the American election in November?
Trump.
Is that assertion or?
Well, it depends if they're going to steal votes.
No, you know why I ask you? Because you said to us in the previous race, Candace Dawson, the stable is going to come good. It was with such confidence and with such authority. So obviously I'm dealing with the Nostradamus' brother here. I think one of the shortest priced horses of the week comes about in race number 3 of a very good 2-year-old campaign. The only thing it didn't do was win its maiden, and that is Winds of Change from the very informed Adam and Michael Ladsley stable, as short as 1 to 4. Next best, it's a couple of runners bracketed at 11 to 2, and that's first time number 7, Elysian Bow, also from the Azzy stable, and number 8, Count Invicto. A first timer that is from the stable of Lucky Udalakas in colours that we saw in the number 1 box, with Red Legend coming through to win for Mr. Havinger. Now, Mr. Marie, Winds of Change, is there any Achilles heel or any negative you'd find? Apart from the price?
No, negative. No, I actually think it's a decent price.
Is it? 1 to 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, let me just say that I'm not 100% certain that the other two Azzy first timers are going to line up. Let's just pay closer attention to race card changes on the day. But personally, if you had to ask me, will Mr. Azzy put in, or Adam and Michael put in first timers?
I think we're going to say Adam now. I think he's the man at the front now.
Knowing that they can actually overturn this favourite. I don't know. I don't think that would be the case. I don't
that think... would be one for the age.
So, yeah, I mean, this favourite's form speaks for itself. He's competed at the highest level.
Yeah.
Grade 1 form. In that grade 1, in his penultimate start, he ran just beyond Cosmic Speed, who came out and won the grade 2 Golden Horseshoe. So, yeah, I mean, a natural banker in all bets, and you can use him as your one bet in your all to comes, your total all to comes. Okay. Yeah, I can't see him getting beaten. These first timers will have to be superstars to get the bet of him on debut. Yeah, not much to add.
Not much more to add. It's an open and shut case. So it's a 5-legged pick 6, and that is to be 5 and 6 in leg 2. And at the back, just the 2 horses needed, 3 and 4 in a race number 8, those being Bemanesque and the 4, Give Me a Choice, that is 3 and 4. All right, so you're watching Awaited to Win for Tuesday's first local meeting of the weekend. We're at the Vaal. We're on the older track, and now we get into the 4th of 8, and this will be the start of Jackpot 1. Now, we had a 1 to 4 favorite in the preceding race. This time, not so short, but pretty short. The 5 Faithful Mistress is at 19 to 10. Number 2, Anne of Denmark. That is a 22 to 10, 5 to 2, the 4 Explosive Gift. It's then 17 to 2 and better bar those. Barring that Carmenson owned number 5 Faithful Mistress, a 3-year-old daughter of Master of My Fate, who's had the 1 run, and that was behind Lady Ellie Moe. And it's got to be said, I think we've got to call a spade a spade. That form isn't really working out. that form line behind Lady Ellie Mo. I think the 6 Shake It is actually better form.
I have to agree with you. No, I actually can't believe that Shake It's at what's it, 8.5 to 1?
8.5 to 1, 17 to 2, yeah.
I think that represents the value in the race.
Yeah.
You know, I was very encouraged with her debut. I know she was beaten a long way, but if you watch her closely, she stayed on throughout the race. In that race, the second place, the winner could be anything. She could be a nice filly, but the second place filly and the third place filly were well fancied.
Yes.
And she
One of them
wasn't.
was a de Kock horse and one of them was
Jan
a Van
Janse.
Vuren horse.
Correct, yeah. So I think she's got a lot of scope for improvement. I think we have to have a nibble at her current price, 8.5 to 1. Now the favourites, I watched her debut, fair debut.
Yeah.
She looked like she was beaten for speed going through the 600, but she was staying on in the later stages. From what I gathered, I think she's going to be better over further in time to come. But she's got a lot of scope for improvement. Fireburst didn't do that form line any favours. So let's see how she goes. Now you can see my PA and my bipod. I only put numbers 5 and 6. I'm hoping one of them run into the top 2 at least. I wouldn't be surprised to see a first timer making a winning debut here because I'm not entirely convinced with the form on offer. Now in the jackpot I had to add number 2, Anne of Denmark. Now she's related to Walter Voss and the Supernova Star.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no comments in the front of the book, but watch the market. The same can be said with number 4, Explosive Gift. Now she's related to Splendid Season and Duke of Rain. Let me just confirm that. Once again, no comments in the front of the book. However, number 7 will need the experience. So, yeah, so for the jackpot, I had to add numbers 2 and 4. So I've gone 2, 4, 5, and 6. In the pick 6 you saw, I just had numbers 5 and 6.
Thank you so much, Daryl. 2, 4, 5, and 6 in that first leg to confirm. And that'll be an outlay of 96 Rand. That first jackpot, first of 2 jackpots, gets underway at 2:15. All right, don't forget you can get involved in that million jackpot courtesy of Betway. Just give us those 8 selections. One of them you can have as a place selection, but the others must be winners. And maybe last Saturday would have been an ideal opportunity if you liked Hasler Grande at the back. Otherwise, most of the fare was pretty much a form oriented. Now, race number 5, a very nice race to look forward to, is a merit rated 96. It's a Betway merit rated 96. It's over the 1,200 meters and a renewing of rivalries between the 2 and the 5. That is Black Egret and Open Highway. Black Egret is a 28 to 10. Open Highway winner last time out is at 33 to 10. Number 9. Bob's Your Uncle is at 5 to 1, 11 to 2 about the 8 Rainbow Reward. It is 8 to 1 and better bar those quoted runners. There's a 2 kg swing in favor of the 2 Black Egret after that beating by Open Highway, Mr. Marie. And we've got Roll with the Punches. Suddenly that form line looks pretty good because Tchaikovsky, who beat Roll with the Punches last time out, followed up with a very decent run at the Vaal just last Thursday.
Yeah, beyond Don't Shoot the Barman.
Don't Shoot the Barman, I do believe. Was it your second? Yeah.
And if he was drawn further towards the outside, I think he goes close to winning.
Yes.
But like we did touch on the fact that Quibus's stables come into form.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the 2 kg swing in Black Egret's favour. Unfortunately, they're drawn wide apart.
Yeah.
Open Highway last time out, he was drawn towards the inside, and that was the more favourable going. On that occasion, he was tracking Escovel, and I thought he won with a lot in hand, easier than what the margin suggests. Because the way I'm reading the track being run again towards the inside, I'm in his favour to confirm that form, number 5, Open Highway. And I also like the fact that you can see he's drawn alongside Rock of Bismantova, who tends to hang towards the inside. So maybe this is a little bit of a blessing in disguise for Rock of Bismantova. And Bob's Your Uncle. They've got natural pace. So once again, Muzi will just get him to relax behind the speed and do his best work late. Now, on paper, you have to respect Black Egret. He's in cracking form, and he will run another bold race. I have backed him up with number 6, See and the Conqueror. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he was meant to run in that
Yeah, he was
race
just
last time
scratching
out, and he was
recently.
scratched, yeah.
Yeah.
And we know what Marco is capable on this horse. He won with a bit more in hand than the margin suggests last time
hardly
out.
moved.
So he didn't move, yeah. So I think with the pace being on, he'll just get him to get some cover and do his best work late. Whether he gets him time, I'm not too sure. But you know, he's 1 from 1 over the course and distance. So if Marco can time it perfectly, I can see him featuring over here. I'm leaning towards Open Highway once again. I backed him up with Black Egret and See on the Conqueror.
There we are, confirmed. The names just mentioned there. It is the last name that the first of those 3, not in order of preference, 256 in chronological order, and it's a 48 Rand jackpot outlay to jackpot 2. Race number 6 is a Betway merit-rated 74 handicap. It's over the 1,000 meters, and this is certainly a nice race. 7 runners to face up, and by the way, there's a form update from Thursday gone. We have the 6 Axel Collins, who ran over a distance of 1,000 meters. We were on the classic track, finished 6th, but only 2.25 lengths in a race we've just actually alluded to, and that is behind a Don't Shoot the Barman. Chase Mojan is aboard this afternoon. He last rode it 3 rides back, or 4 rides after tomorrow, and he's back aboard. And take note of the blinkers that are put on recent maiden winner, number 4, Alone Time. Karate Kid could be anything. Still racing way short of its optimum trips, but certainly caught the eye when winning.
Sure, and he caught the eye when debuting.
Yeah.
Behind Taxi to the Moon. I mean, he, I think, competed in the Grade 2 Golden Horseshoe, if I'm not mistaken.
Grade 2 came back up on the high fart, ran
Yes.
2nd or 3rd, and then confirmed that form
Correct.
2 days ago.
Beating 2 lovely sorts in Simric and Lead the Charge.
Yes.
So I nearly bankered him in everything. Number 1, Karate Kid. Last time out, he was never in doubt. And we know that he beat a highly regarded sort in Inspector James.
Yeah.
He was expected to win over the weekend. So I think he's a lovely sort in the making of here. Now it is obviously a handicap, and he's got a substantial weight to shoulder, but I think this horse is a horse you can follow. But unfortunately, he's bumping number 3, Johnny Appleseed. And you know, this horse came to the course with a big reputation. I think it was one of the first runners for Hopes and Dreams stud.
Yes.
And they were hoping he was going to make a winning debut. Everything went wrong for him on that occasion. They put him away. They rested and gelded him. And he came back and he was super impressive. You know, I know it was a work rider event, but if you saw him, he actually looks like a lovely, lovely horse, and who's got some substance about him. Now, the form line wasn't done any favors over the weekend, but how can you read into that when the horse that he beat got beat a distance? It wasn't as if Tiger Storm ran 2nd or 3rd and just wasn't too good on the day. The horse was beaten over 12 lengths. So I'm willing to ignore that.
Is that the race? I'm just getting my races mixed up, where Inspector James dislodged.
Yes.
So maybe we could use that as mitigatory.
Yeah, I'm not too sure of that, but he was a spent force at the top of the straight. What I did look at, though, Cecil, is his time on that day, Johnny Appleseed.
Yes.
You know, his time was quicker. I know he carried 2 kilograms less than Don't Shoot the Barman, but his time was quicker than Don't Shoot the Barman, and by 3 odd lengths. And Don't Shoot the Barman's come out and won again. So yeah, I do have a preference for number 1, but I've really got healthy respect for number 3, Johnny Appleseed.
There it is, 1-3 by 2-4 by 3-4. 8 Rand is what it'll cost you. All right, we're on to the penultimate event of the afternoon, a last chance to get involved in a double on Tuesday, Heritage Day, Tuesday, 24 September 2024. And just having a look, Smanga would not have had any engagements in race number 7. And it's at this juncture, I'm sure I speak on behalf of Mr. Marie, We really wish him well and a speedy recovery, and hope that it wasn't a long-term setback after being dislodged by Inspector James shortly after the start, which was followed by a track inspection, and eventually they got underway once again. Form update. Number 8, Have a Party, was well backed, and the gamble was nearly landed, although it was a 3 3/4 lengths behind the winner. Ideal Future, that was a second. Muziena got the ride, then it will be Mr. Malisela Kiratile Kachedi who gets the ride from the match at stable. The 3, Hat-Trick Seeking Eiger Sanction is a 2-1. Number 2, Dual Prophecy reunited with Striker 5-2. Number 1, at Diesel's Shadow. That is at 5-1. It's 13-2, and better bar those quoted runners. What we may lack in terms of quantity of runners in certain fields, we certainly make up for in competitiveness. Dual Prophecy, good post-maiden run. Diesel's Shadow, well, if there's a man who knows Diesel's Shadow, he's been aboard on all his 3 wins as Gavin. And as I mentioned, Eiger Sanction, Mr. Yeni retains the ride.
Yeah, let's start from the top. Diesel Shadow, take note, they are fitting him with a set of cheek pieces. If you recall that race, the 2 Aussie inmates went at each other a long way from home. And the balance of the field never got into the hunt. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. I think he's
What
in...
is the other Aussie horse again?
Claw.
Claw, that's right.
So, I mean, he's in cracking form. And maybe Gavin just got off and said, try some headgear.
Yeah.
Let's see how he goes. Diesel's Shadow. Now, Dual Prophecy and the Eiger Sanction met last time out. Now, Eiger Sanction thrashed him. But what I do want to say is that was on the inside track. This isn't an inside track horse, Dual Prophecy. He's going to love the longer running, coupled with the fact that he's 5 kilograms better off with Eiger Sanction. I'm going to go as far as saying that he's going to reverse the form with Eiger Sanction. Now, once again, we're sitting here trying to beat Eiger Sanction when it could be a case of risky business. He wins again. Yeah, he's in cracking form. He's certainly better without the blinkers. But I like the fact that Dual Prophecy now meets him over a course and distance he's going to be more effective on. So Dual Prophecy, one of the leading lights for me. Respect for numbers 1 and 3. And number 4, Fushimi Inari. Now have a look at his form. Have you given up on him?
You're strong.
Have a look at his form. He's never far off, right? Beaten 2, 3, 4 lengths off an 84.
Yeah.
Off in 71. I mean 79. Off a 77. He's now a 75. Yes, he needs to behave beyond the pens and jump on terms, because he needs to hold that position from stallgate number 1. He can't give it away. So I'm leaning towards the 2, Dual Prophecy. Respect for numbers 1, 3, and 4.
All right, so it is the double suggested by Mr. Marie, 2 and 4 in leg 1. That is a Dual Prophecy and a Fushimi Inari. And in leg number 2, the 3 and the 4, Biamonesque and Give Me a Choice, respectively. All right, so this is a Betway Novice Handicap that will round off the meeting at the vaal. The first of 2 meetings are on this weekend. Of course, that will be on public holiday. It is Heritage Day, Bride Day, if you want to call it, but hopefully it will be a good time had by all. 1,400 meters is a trip, and I think the operative word there is handicap. The 3, Biamonesque, is the favorite at 33-10. 7-2 is the 5, Wild Intent. The 1, Happy Mo, is at 15-4. The 4, Give Me a Choice, I beg your pardon, Choice, is at 4-1, 7-1, and a better bar those quoted runners. Give Me a Choice fans will say this is a Christmas come early at 4-1. However, the preceding 3 named could be anything that will be over the 1,400 meters. Mr. Marie, it's always interesting to hear where your loyalties lie.
You know, I've been waiting for Give Me a Choice to run again, because I always take notes of what the trainers say, and Tony's been nothing but positive about the son of Give Me the Green Light. He rates him highly.
I think everybody does, huh?
He was recently scratched, and I like the fact that they're trying him with a set of blinkers.
Okay.
Because he seems to not be giving of his best. So I think the headgear will assist him. I love the fact that he never picked up a penalty in his last starts. And I don't know if you recall, I actually tipped him when he was scratched because of that fact.
Yeah.
I want to see how he moves down to the start with him.
That is the race that was won by our friend Will Express.
Yes. So let's see how he goes. I like him, man. I've been waiting for him to run. But he's bumping a horse that I've been very impressed with his progress since returning from a rest, and that's number 3, Beemanesque. Now you can see his 2 starts in KZN. He improved
Yeah.
substantially. I mean, he was well beaten, then he was beaten 3 lengths. Then last time out, have a look who he ran behind.
Mount
Pinatubo and the recently stable change, the Specialist.
Yes, yes.
Now they
yes.
rated, I think, 106 and 115. So I know it was a small field and he was probably flattered by that. But I thought it was a cracking effort on his behalf, and he wasn't laying down in the latter stages. If you watch that replay, he actually rallied late to get the better of Champion Warrior for third.
Yes.
So now Gavin reunites with him. He won his maiden on him, and he's back in a handicap. You can see his ratings right down to an 82, and he's drawn on that inside running rail. I think if things really go well for him, he should go very close to winning. So I'm going 3 from 4. You have to respect the chances of 1, 5, and 8 and 9 for trifectas and quartets, but I think Beemanesque probably going to get it right this time around.
There's a selection from Mr. Marie. It is a toughie to round off proceedings. A very nice toughie, not trappy in any way, but very competitive. And we could see 1 or 2 that will stake a claim as the season progresses. That's been the preview to our meeting on the Standside track at the Vaal. It is 24 September, and that is Heritage Day.